Today is Friday, April 29th. It is Arbor Day. Go hug a tree. We're going to look at some earnings stocks today. Of course, Amazon's in the news. Huge 12% jump in the pre-market after earnings. You can see it's up, trading up in this area in the pre-market, and that is resistance from late last year. So would you buy this stock? That's the question. You might like its fundamentals. You might say they're executing, they're making their revenues, finally getting some big profits. But, would you buy this thing here technically? And I got to say, after a 12% jump in a day, after this kind of gain of more than 12% since February low, and now at resistance from last year's highs, we're going to ignore this false breakout through resistance. So this is the high in my book. So after that kind of move, would you buy it here? And it's kind of really hard to say yes you would. And let's even put a study on this thing. Let's put an RSI on. And this is going to be as of yesterday's close. So where's the RSI going to be today? Is it going to be up here at overbought already? I got a feeling it will be. So I don't know. I'm not. It may be a great long-term play, but right here I'm not so sure about. All right, let's look at some others that had some good earnings. Expedia, probably surprise on earnings, trading up right over there, right at resistance from March. Would you buy it there? Again, it looks pretty good in terms of some of its technicals. You have a breakout, but the thing is the risk reward good here today? And I don't think it is. LinkedIn, I like this one a little bit better. Obviously got crushed here, got crushed again here. Were they making any money? Who knows? Just looking at the chart, you have a big break, so the stock is broken there. But then you have a couple of months of sideways basing. And here's a resistance, trading up in here in the pre-market after earnings. So that's a breakout. And coming off of a base, I kind of like that a lot better. Of course, you want to look at other things. You want to look at the volume, and you want to look at the long-term picture. But in terms of just an earnings play, that looks pretty good. And not on my schedule here, but I'm going to look at Ford because this had a nice breakout on earnings, but it's reasonable. Look at that. It's a reasonable breakout through the 50-day average. I'm sorry, the 200-day average. A sideways pattern, a little pause here before the breakout, so I like that one. Anyway, moving on to today's crop of earnings. Pandora trading at the red line. I don't like it quite as much as LinkedIn, but you can see kind of a trend line breakout there. It's above the 50-day average finally. So maybe something to keep an eye on. And finally, Sirius XM, or whatever they call themselves these days. Earnings were pretty good yesterday. And look at this. Look what happened here. A breakout above resistance and a big failure. That is a key outside day reversal and not a good sign. So probably avoid this one. So you have it, some big earnings numbers, some big moves. Some of them might actually be good to buy here. Others, or most of them, I would say a little too far too fast.